Gabriel's Journey to Life, Day 163, Vulnerability, Part 2, Fear and Belief Patterns. Gabriel is looking at the point of being vulnerable here in this blog. And so let's have a look at what you wrote here. Looking at the point of being vulnerable within my life. Within my life, I have never enjoyed feeling this way, as obviously being vulnerable means you are more able to be abused or harmed. Within me, I never wanted to be in such a state. There is an inherent fear within this of being let down and thus abused within opening myself up and allowing vulnerability. And so I am very seldom given into being vulnerable with others and allowing myself to open up. I see how I have created many parts in my world where I perceive that I am vulnerable and open for attack based on being hyper reactive within perceiving what others are thinking of me. So this created many imaginations of being perceived as others thinking me as weak. But I realized I'm the one creating this within my own head. Here, I can see this point existing within me, this fear of being vulnerable. Yet, I suppressed it to a point where I am unaware that it is there. It is when I saw Gabriel's vlog that I saw this point, and so this is why I am grateful for her for writing this blog. And this being vulnerable is really me saying I don't really care. I don't care because it's too painful for me. And this is what I will usually do or when I have a relationship with someone. And this is like an inferiority thing for me. And the fear of being hurt, fear of pain, which is in my blogs. Let's have a look. This is what I am blogging about at the moment. The I don't care character, which I saw came up from the procrastination character. But within that fear of being hurt is fear that when I truly care, I will have to take responsibility to and as all parts of me as life. So I chose to not care so here I used self-forgiveness for me to be able to release myself from this point of not caring because of fear of being hurt. So it's like a form of giving up and taking the easy way out. this blog is actually a continuation of this blog, which is about wanting enlightenment. Because enlightenment is really easier, but it is a belief that I have. It's not real. I mean, so it's still taking the easy way out, thinking that there is such, but there isn't. I mean, it's to me it is an all or nothing kind of deal. So let's go back and have a look here. So here I can also resonate with her commitment statement. But if you have time, read all of this. This is really cool. So I commit myself to stop the fear of abuse from others and thus build my own self-trust through building my own self-integrity by living my words. You see, that's a very simple statement, yet it takes standing, changing, and really meaning what I say. So that self-integrity and living my self-commitment, that is the one thing that I am looking at doing also, because it's not a choice. It's who, and it's who I am, as who I really am, as equal to all that is here. So so this blog actually assisted me. I commit myself to stop the fear of abuse from others and thus build my own self-trust through building my own self-integrity by living my words and taking responsibility for who I am, by strengthening my resolve in growing my understanding and application of self-honesty. You see, self-honesty is such a simple word, yet there's a to live this is something that is like a long walk, yet you cannot not walk it. I cannot not walk it. So because, well, because it is not a choice, it is a must. And so here let's continue by living my words and taking responsibility for who I am, by strengthening my resolve and growing my understanding and application of self-honesty and common sense living, and living within the principles of equality for real, never taking anything from others personally or for granted, as I realize that we are all walking process and everyone is at different stages within this process of equalizing self as a physical And thus I give others the space to grow and give support if it is relevant unconditionally as I was given myself. I give what I have received and I commit to this, so thus we as beings of life can become whole again within who we are, as it's a sure process to walk to correct our faults with real application. And so I commit to walk this walk until it is complete for all, so we can be free. So thank you, Gabrielle. I suggest for those looking at this blog to read the full blog. And yes, so thank you, Gabrielle, for reminding me of this point.